Hi, I'm Mike, better known as Least Like Critic 75, if you are in fact are watching. I mentioned in my Fantastic Four review that I will be doing a video special, and the video special will be on my figures. Now you probably noticed there are two people standing behind me. Their names are Scott and Drew, but they go by the names Meta Knuckles and Electric Nutsack, and they will soon be starting their own YouTube channel titled The Animated Gaming Squad, which will be covering Japanese anime and video games of now and retro. So, let's get started with the tour. Hi, ready for the tour? If not, come with me anyway. Joke there. Alright, let's start with Ant-Man. See, it's from the movie. Paul Rudd was a pretty cool superhero. Last person you thought would be a superhero, and his ant friend here, whom he rode on. See? Because Ant-Man's not like Wasp. He can't fly. Yeah. And this is the other Ant-Man who came after the Paul Rudd character. Name was Eric O'Grady. It's generation to generation sort of thing. And this here, Hulk bobblehead, signed by Lou Ferrigno himself. I got it at Comic Con. Cost about $60, but
Worth it.
Yeah, let's hope it's $60 worth spending.
I got a bunch of cards signed by actors from an anime I watch. So
Really?
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, cool. And this is Data. This one isn't signed, but it was given me by my brother for my birthday. Data bobblehead. Data's the most interesting character because he's an android. He kind of sticks out. I would wonder what it'd be like if him and Data and C-3PO were at a table talking. What would that be like? Still thinking. And these are two Batman Hot Wheels. This was given to me by my friend David. I bought this because it was the only one out there at the time, so I couldn't resist that, you know. I have two of these. I'll get to this in a moment. Y'all do remember Brave and the Bold, don't you? I'm sure you do. Yeah. This is a stormtrooper, mainly because I was trying to get a. I was trying to get a. What was I trying to get? Oh, Boba Fett, but this came with it. I couldn't find a Boba Fett by himself, so I had to get this with it. I could just hold this one over here. We'll get to Boba Fett in a minute. Soon. All right, now the shelf. Look at my cool collection of Hot Wheels. I'm only take Hot Wheels from nostalgia shows and movies, you know, because I don't want to take just any Hot Wheels. I want to take something that's valuable. See the Flintstones. Of course, you all remember the Flintstones. Of course you do. The
That's
Jetsons.
awesome. I like the Jetsons one. That's kind of cool.
Star Trek Enterprise. The movie Stripes. You remember that? They had that cool van. Magnum PI flew a helicopter. Although I am surprised it didn't. Where is the Ferrari that Magnum drove? But that's neither here nor there. There's the Ferrari that Crockett and Tubbs drove in Miami Vice. There are some in the back too. One from the movie American Graffiti. That's a movie about teens in the early '60s, directed by George Lucas before he went on to Star Wars. This is that Chevy Nova from Beverly Hills Cop, the car Eddie Murphy drove. Always said, "Oh, remember you used to have that crappy blue Chevy Nova? What car are you driving now?" He'd say, "That same blue crappy Chevy Nova." And from the TV show The A Team, remember B.A. Baracus' van? If you're not remember The A Team, I'm sure you wouldn't remember this if you ever saw the movie. Y'all remember Knight Rider? Kit? Well, this is not Kit. This is Carr, his arch nemesis. Remember the Reverse Flash? This is kind of like him. He's the reverse Kit. He's the total opposite of Kit. He's bad. The guy who voiced him was also the voice of Optimus Prime in the Transformers. Voiced this car.
Interesting.
Actually, he didn't make it the second time they brought Car back. He only did it the first time. You know, a lot of people thought that Leonard Nimoy was the voice of Optimus Prime, but they have very similar voices. I can understand that comparison. 60s Batmobile. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, almost lost that one. And my other Michael Keaton Batman car from Batman Returns. See, I told you I had two. I couldn't pass this up. My friend David, who collects these things too, reminded me I couldn't pass this up. I'd be a fool to. Alright, let's get on with the Turtles. You know the Turtles, don't you? Leonardo. Raphael. Cool name. They all have artist names, you noticed?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Michelangelo.
My favorite.
He's got my name! I'm just kidding.
And my favorite.
Yeah. I don't know. They're all cool. They're all fighting. I don't know them all by any names. And Donatello. He's the most He's the most one up for a fight. I mean, look at that face. He doesn't look like he's having the most fun here. See the face? Alright, let's get to these other figures. Vampire Succubur from the TMNT movie. Succubur? I forgot. No, I was terrible at pronouncing it. Somebody bought this for me, and it reminded me I had to get the Turtles, too. So if I'm going to have this, I might as well have the Turtles. Pretty cool figure, isn't it? And now let's get on to Rorschach. Y'all remember Rorschach? The villain, the hero who is very violent, wears that mask, that black and white that constantly keeps changing shapes on the mask. Cool effect. Wish my mask could do that, but it doesn't. I was him for Halloween one time. Of course, you remember that. You know who you were.
Luigi.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of trivia. I once went to another Halloween party dressed as him. All my friends didn't know it was me. I was actually enjoying that. And supervillain Black Manta, basically Aquaman's nemesis. You know who Aquaman is? Of course you do. See, this proves it. He's Aquaman's nemesis. I don't really know that much about him, but he looked like a cool figure to buy. Sorry if I'm being terribly uninsightful. And Our Man, who is, what is Our Man? He follows in his honors his father's legacy of crime by fighting crime in his disguise as the third Our Man. Like the original Iron Man, he gains superhuman strength, stamina, and speed from a drug miracle. Wait a minute. A gift from the second Our Man, an android from the future. Rick wears an hourglass, which gives the ability to see an hour into the future. That's pretty cool. Surprised he didn't make no appearance in no DC's part yet. Maybe he will eventually. Alright, some of my Marvel Universe stuff. There is Psylocke. She's going to be in the new X-Men movie coming out next year. Cool. Jubilee, who can take some cosmic energy from her and make a blast out of it from her hands. She was only in Generation X. She didn't make any appearance in the X-Men movie. Actually, she did, but it was a deleted scene from the first one. I think she's a pretty cool character, don't you think? She made an appearance in Generation X that was supposed to spawn a TV series, but that never happened, unfortunately. Well, maybe she will eventually make an appearance in an X-Men movie coming up someday. Alright. There's Colossus. Y'all remember him from the X-Men movies?
Peter Rasputin. Of course, in the original he was Russian, but it didn't appear that way in the movie version that he was Russian. But still a pretty cool character who could turn himself into steel and has incredible strength. Yeah. Silver. It's pretty obvious. Alright, next. Archangel. Pretty cool looking costume, huh? Ben Foster played him in X-Men The Last Stand, but I don't know, the character was kind of null and void in that movie. Well, he was there, and they didn't give much for him to do, but I wish they did. I would love to see this character in this costume in the movie, wouldn't you? There's more of a backstory why he wears this, but he's part of a science experiment that they said they were going to remove his wings. Instead, they turned him into this. I still say it was cooler than the last one. Alright. And there's Nova. Of course, don't know much about him. He's a pretty cool looking hero. It says so back here. Here, I'll let y'all read it because I'm not a very good reader of certain things. There you go. I'll be right on. And then there's Marvel's Puck. Small but fierce superhero. Kind of like Ant-Man, but much fiercer. Oh, he was a hero who was part of I think what was he part of? Alpha Flight. Made an appearance in X-Men cartoon once. That's all about all. All right. Now, you ready to get on with some of the Marvel nemesis? Some of them? Okay. Silver Samurai, from the Wolverine movie. Although I think he looks better here. Wolverine's real arch nemesis the Silver Samurai is no ordinary warrior. He wields an ancient samurai blade and commands an army of ninjas to help carry it out. His evil plans. Born a mutant, he can channel energy into a sword, making it one of the most powerful weapons in the world. Pretty cool, ain't it? Yeah. Then there's Marvel's Mysterio. They didn't make a villain out of it. They didn't make a character out of him in any of the Spider-Man movies yet, but they keep rebooting the series. Wish they quit doing that. But they gotta do it. He was a special effects man, but Spider-Man caught him stealing, and he had some sort of accident, and he can create illusions at will. I think that's what it is. I think that is what it is. If they ever made a movie out of him, I would picture the guy who played Silver Surfer could play him in the movie. He'd be awesome, I think. What do I know? Baron Zemo, one of Captain America's arch nemesis. From what I hear, he's going to be in the new Captain America movie coming out in 2016. He's going to have two villains to fight, Crossbones and Baron Zemo. Boy, Captain America really has his hands full, doesn't he? He does indeed. Kind of weird, a hero never gets a break, does he? No, he doesn't.
Do villains ever get breaks?
No, of course villains get breaks. They're just being unfair to the hero. And then there's Ultron. Of course, y'all remember him from Age of Ultron. Pretty cool villain. James Spader was excellent as the voice of Ultron. Very creepy subtleness to what he brings to it, and the CGI was done pretty well. I think so. Oh boy. I would love to see what it'd be like if him and Brainiac from DC's Superman they're kind of similar. I would love to see them duke it out, Alright. Of course, we all know who Loki is, don't we? Oh, the god of mischief. who's always jealous of his brother, but always shows more that he could be loyal to his brother at times, even though he's very evil. You saw in Thor: The Dark World. Tom Hiddleston played that character to a T, to perfection. Tom Hiddleston was Loki, I think. If anybody else could replace him, I don't know if they could do it as good as Tom Hiddleston. All right, what next? Oh yeah, Whiplash. You all remember from Iron Man 2? Yeah, he was a pretty cool villain, even though they gave him very little to do on some parts, but I think Mickey Rourke played it pretty well. I mean, Mickey Rourke had to learned how to speak Russian fluently for the role of Whiplash, so he's a pretty cool figure. Too bad the movie Iron Man 2 didn't do as good. I mean, I didn't think it was terrible, but I didn't think it was as bad as people said it was. Alright, right here. Here's some nostalgia of stuff. Lone Ranger is right here. I know the movie was terrible, but the figures I couldn't resist not owning, especially Johnny Depp as Tonto. It's pretty cool. And then there's Carrie. I got that at Toys R Us. That one was a friend gave me. I had trouble finding that one, but luckily he did. And they got other action figures in the back, but that will take up more time. So other nostalgia stuff, sci-fi nostalgia stuff. But I'll show you this. I got some more retro vehicles. Enterprise from the Star Trek movies. That's pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool, huh? Very, very well designed, I must say. Alright. The DeLorean from Back to the Future. Got that for my birthday. And the famous Knight Rider car kit. I got the big version. I'm lucky enough to find this one. This one was pretty hard to find. And then there's Dukes of Hazzard, the General Lee. And I got my big 60s Batmobile.
That's nice.
Yeah. Got that for my birthday, though. Or was it Christmas? I don't remember. Anyway. And this is a World War II Jeep. My girlfriend got that for me. It's pretty authentic, I must say. And then there's the TARDIS from Doctor Who. Couldn't pass that up. Yeah, it's, like I said, I like to own vehicles of retro era. Except for this, I mean, this is something to be remembered, a World War II Jeep. You notice how some cars were kind of more the star than the actors themselves? That's what the Dukes of Hazzard and Knight Rider basically were, more the star of the series. I was at a Comic-Con convention. I once sat in this. I didn't want to get out. Such a relaxing car. It wasn't exactly the car, but it was a replicant of it. And they did it. Said they used a total of 16 for the whole trilogy. All right, let's go over here. I got the Incredible Hulk and his nemesis Abomination. I kind of think of Abomination as kind of like the Reverse Hulk. Remember the Reverse Flash from the TV series? That's how I think of the Abomination. And then I got from the Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, and then I got his nemesis, the Lizard.
I got the Punisher Frank Castle right here. I got more figures on there, but I don't want to take up too much time, so I'm just going to show you. This is my Marvel selection. Everything's Marvel Legends, basically, and here is my DC selection. Don't you like it? That's the Avengers. This is the Justice League. Pretty cool. Now this is my Marvel Versus. No, DC Versus. My mistake. DC Versus. See, you got Supergirl versus She-Ra, Superman's cousin versus He-Man's sister. You got Aquaman versus Merman. Merman is very evil, by the way. And you got Hawkman versus Stratos. They are kind of similar. Couldn't pass these up, you know. They're hard to pass up. And look here, you got Shazam versus Black Adam. They're going to do a Shazam movie, and I hear that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wants to play Black Adam. He didn't want to play Shazam because that's what they expect. I'd rather play a bad guy because it's more interesting. Or I thought that's why he did it. That's just my interpretation. Of course, you got Batman versus Bane. That was a pretty cool fight. Both were. First one was kind of painful when he broke Batman's back. Well, no, he didn't break his back. He slightly severed his spine. And then you got Green Lantern versus Sinestro in the sequel, which we'll probably never see with Ryan Reynolds. Would have been a good battle. Mark Strong was a great Sinestro, by the way. Alright, ready to go down a little? Here's Halo. Who is not a Halo fan out there, I wonder. I really hope if they ever make a movie out of this, Mila Jovovich will play Cortana, because I think, look at her. Don't she look like Mila Jovovich? A little?
A little.
I think Mila Jovovich will be a perfect Cortana. And Captain Jacob Keyes from the first Halo. I'm sure you all remember this. Halo Ghost. It's a vehicle, you know, it's like a motorbike. It only goes a few feet off the ground. It doesn't go very far. We'd like to have one of these to drive to work in.
Be nice and fast.
Yeah, we're probably very old men by the time this exists. Some Terminator collections. This is his first Tech Noir, the first outfit he wore. Pretty cool. He stole it for some punks. Of course, if y'all remember the actual first Terminator film. This is what happened when he got thrown under a truck and he got most of his face ripped off. This is Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn. Couldn't pass that up. He was a cool character. He's a pretty interesting character. And this is Robert Patrick as the Liquid Terminator. Boy, he was very iconic. Even though a good percentage of the movie he was special effects. And here is another Liquid Terminator in the police cruiser outfit. When he turned all icy and they shot him to crunkle the... if you saw the movie, you know that part. Alright, here's some Star Wars collections. I got some more I'll show you over there in a minute. Of course, you know Mace Windu, Samuel Jackson. He was good in that role. Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. And Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian. Very iconic in their roles.
And this was given me by my brother. Don't really know much about this character, but I think it's pretty cool. Couldn't I just be too cool to pass up. And this was given me by some friends. I think for Christmas or my birthday. I don't remember. A Stormtrooper and a Stormtrooper Cycle. It was by the Clone Wars. Maybe it was in the movie. I think it was in the cartoon show. Pretty cool, I must say. Alright. Now we're going for the more retro. $6 Million Man. I got this at a Comic-Con convention. You know, the half human, half machine. He's, of course, if you weren't a kid in the '70s, you probably won't remember this. I was a kid in the '70s. I didn't remember it until I saw it in syndication. I think it was probably paved the way for RoboCop. I bet. Anyway, anybody's a fan of the Twilight Zone? Yeah, the invader, little spaceman. Pretty creepy looking, huh? Yeah. Of course, we all know William Shatner as Captain Kirk. Pretty cool, huh? And forgive me, I'm too crowded here, too cluttered here. Fred Gwynne as Herman Munster. Trying to send up of American families that they were just a family of monsters. That's what the joke of it all. Pretty cool looking, huh? Look at that big lunchbox. Had quite an appetite. Alright, next is Bruce Lee from Game of Death. Look at that! Look at that jumper! Look at that outfit. That outfit was used in Kill Bill. It's become so iconic here. Bruce Lee was he really kind of paved the way for martial arts action stars. I mean, there weren't many out there. I mean, he just kind of got the ball rolling on his final film role. All right. Y'all know Flash Gordon. Flash, savior of the universe. You know, the original Flash Gordon series was what inspired George Lucas to do Star Wars, and it's weird. It's Star Wars got the movie Flash Gordon rolling. Can you believe that? That's weird. Of course, we all know Rocky. Da 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 da. Well, you couldn't pass this up, right? Rocky and Apollo all bloodied up after beating the you know what out of each other in a boxing match. That was intense. And you got Trilobite versus Engineer from Prometheus. That's kind of a prequel to the Alien movies. And if you're not a fan of those, but if you are, check this movie out and you'll see what I mean by prequel to the Alien movies. All right. Going on over here now is Ash from Evil Dead. Yeah, I met him. Very nice guy, Bruce Campbell. There's going to be a TV show on the Evil Dead. I don't know when it's going to air though, but I met him. He was very, very friendly, very pleasant guy. I know you're a fan of horror and comedy. If you haven't seen, if you're a fan of horror and comedy, you haven't seen this, check it out. Of course, you all know the Predator. You know, the first duked it out with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the late '80s, and then there was Aliens versus Predator and so forth. But I'm looking for a superpower beatdown. There'll be Master Chief versus Predator. That'd be a cool fight, I say. Alright. The Invisible Man in Disguise. The classic Claude Rains film from the 1930s. Just that outfit looks more creepier than him actually being invisible, right? That's enough to creep anybody out, make him kind of stand out. I don't know how this disguise is going to fool anybody. Alright. And the Bride of Frankenstein. Boy, don't kiss her goodnight anytime soon. Just kidding. Alright. Alright, I'll get to this in a moment. We'll just, after we finish with the tour. Alright, I got some more figures up here. See? Oh, that. Oh, right. That's, was promoting, they asked me to promote their company, a comic book company, so I bought a poster. That was by Ernie Hudson. He met him, he signed that himself, and that was at a convention with John Goodman. Alright. Here's some more figures up here. There's more figures behind there, but I don't want to make this video any longer. So, see, look, there's another Superman versus He-Man, which inspired me to get those. That's the Incredible Hulk versus the Leader, and there's the Silver Surfer right there. Couldn't pass that up from Rise of the Silver Surfer. Oh, here. Oh, that's another autograph photo by Lou Ferrigno. That was actually the first time we went to Comic-Con, and that's just memorabilia of Christopher Reeve. Oh, look, horror and cult films. Those are pretty. Oh, I thought that's a pretty good thing. Look, there's Aliens vs Predator, and here's the Justice League. There's some Marvels in the back. Hope it's not too dark. You can't see it. I put them in the form how the cartoons show they come. Wait, I gotta straighten that up. There we go. And then there's some Marvels. There's some Marvel figures there. Some DC in the back. Yeah, there's some from that awful Fantastic Four movie. Well, I didn't think it was awful. I thought it was actually pretty entertaining. There's some more memorabilia stuff, some Star Wars figures. There's some other cult films, sci-fi and cult films, and there's some more DC stuff right there. All right. And here's my favorite one. Superpower Beatdown kind of inspired this shelf. Bat and the Sons, I mean, inspired me to take a villain and a hero from two different comic book universes and have them battle it out. Like this, right here. See, this is Green Arrow versus Boomerang. I couldn't get Bullseye anywhere, so I thought, but Boomerang, I think it was a Spider-Man villain. He's a perfect athlete. Was sort of similar to Bullseye, so I thought he'd be cool. Right there is Black Cat versus Catwoman. Talk about a cat fight. Right here is Steel versus Bulldozer. Over here is Iron Man versus Lex Luthor, both in their Iron Man suits. Over here is, like I said, only time that's not with a DC villain. It's a Star Wars villain. It's Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy versus Boba Fett. I would really love to see that in a Superpower Beatdown. And right here is Winter Soldier versus Arkham Knight. That's another Superpower Beatdown I'd love to see. Right here is the Superman versus Curse. Of course, if you all know who Curse is, he beat you-know-what out of Thor in Thor the Dark World. How would he do against Superman? Probably the same result, but I think Superman would find a way to outsmart him better. Oh, and right here is Batman versus Red Skull. And then there's Spider-Man versus Man-Bat. And right here is Captain America versus Deathstroke. In the back there, and hopefully you can see it, is Daredevil versus... And there's Green Lantern versus Electro. And in the back is Hawkman versus Beetle. And right here is Incredible Hulk versus Solomon Grundy. And right here, I'm really hoping they'll do that in a Superpower Beatdown one day. Alright. Over here is, last but not least, figures. This is a tribute to Leonard Nimoy when he was guest starring on The Simpsons. Here is Falcon.
Hi. Well, that brings an end to the room tour, and forgive me for not being as insightful as I should be. It's my first room tour, so bear with me. I mean, I see a lot of these room tours with action figures, and they make it look so easy sometimes. And I pretty much told you about the two fellows standing behind me, Scott and Drew, better known as Meta Knuckles and Electric Nutsack. They're going to be starting their own gaming channel. I told you a little bit about it, but I think I'll let them tell more. Take it away, guys.
What's up, guys? This is Electric Nutsack,
And Meta Knuckles.
and we're going to be starting a new channel called the Animated Gaming Squad, where we're going to be doing game reviews, anime reviews, maybe manga reviews, and some Let's Plays.
And our first mini-series that we're going to be doing is Game Busters, based around horror games, survival games, such as Resident Evil, Dead Space, and a bunch of other fun horror games.
So we're going to try to get that out as soon as possible, and we hope you guys like us, enjoy us, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. We hope to see you guys real soon.
Game on.
Bye.
Well, that was enough said. Sayonara. Bye bye.